Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syahri bin Suhaimi. I'm from J4 EM1104A and I'm from group N4, and today I will do an experiment about experiment T1, which is the steam pressure curve of saturated steam Marshall boiler. And then let's go to the objective. For this experiment we have two objectives, which is the first one to study and understand the relationship between the pressure and the temperature of saturated steam in equilibrium, and the second one is to study and demonstrate the vapor pressure curve. For the apparatus, we have 18 apparatus that we use in this experiment. The first one is control panel, the second one steam pressure indicator, the third one steam temperature indicator, number 4 we have heater switch, number 5 power switch, number 6 power cable, number 7 emergency switch, number 8 the heater, 9 steam pressure gauge, number 10 steam pressure transmitter, number 11 steam temperature transmitter, number 12 is the boiler tank, number 13 we have a steam vent valve, or we call it as MV102, and number 14 we have side glass valve, and we call it as MVB101. After that we have water level indicator, and number 16 side glass valve, which is MV103. Number 17 we have water supply valve, which is we call it MVB104, and last one at the number 18 we have drain valve, we call it as MVB105. Okay, for the procedure we have three parts, which is the before experiment, during the experiment, and the after experiment. For the before experiment, we call it as start up the boiler. First, what we need to do in this part is we need to perform a quick inspection to ensure that the unit is in a proper operation condition. And the second one, we need to connect the unit to the nearest power supply, and then we need to open valve labeled as MVB101, MVB102, MVB103, and MVB104 located near the side glass. Number 4, we need to make sure the water level is at half or more of tank's height. If less, we need to fill the tank with water. And the last one, for this startup boiler process, if or when the tank is filled to sufficient amount of water, we need to close the valve MVB101, MVB103, and MVB104. Next, we will go to the during experiment process. After we done with the startup process, we can continue with the experimental procedure. For this part we have 7 procedure that we need to do. First, we need to perform the startup procedure. Next, switch on the main power supply, and then switch on the power supply for heater and wait for the water to boil. After that, we need to close the valve MVB102 when the temperature reaches 60 degrees Celsius. We need to take the reading of the temperature on indicator at every pressure interval of 0.5 bar from 1 to 10 bar of absolute pressure, and then we need to log the date in table 2. After that, after taking the reading at 10 bar, we need to turn off the heater and then perform the shutdown procedure. For shutdown procedure, we need to switch off the heater and leave the vessel to cool down until it reaches room temperature. Then we need to switch off the main power supply after the boiler has reached the room temperature. We need to retain the water for the next experiment. After that, we open the valve at upper part of the side glass, the MVB102, to release the water. And lastly, we need to open the valve at the bottom part of side glass and the valve MVB-104 and MVB-105 to drain out the water from the tank. But we need to be cautious. Don't open the valve when the boiler is heated, and we must not touch the boiler body with our bare hand. This can cause injury to the student. For the application, we can see that this experiment is commonly used in cooking utilities like a pressure cooker. When the pressure is increasing, we can see that the temperature also increase, and this process can make the cooking process become faster and easier. In conclusion, we are succeed to achieve the objective for this experiment. We can determine that the pressure is proportional to the temperature of the saturated steam of Marshall boiler. Then, as we can say that the pressure will increase and the temperature will also increase. That's all from me. I hope you guys understand with my explanation, and goodbye.